Welcome to another episode. My name is Jose Najarro, and today I'm going to talk about what I'm going to be looking at next week. So let's get started. Before we begin, I just want to make sure everybody's doing okay. I'm here in Jersey, been working from home for the past week. So yeah, I've been pretty slow, haven't been posting many videos this week. I actually have a test due tomorrow that I have to do tomorrow. My wife is screaming at me that I should actually be studying instead of doing this video, but we will see how that test goes. So yeah, I hope everybody's doing okay. The market, if you guys obviously know about the market, it's been tanking every day this week, and every day, I'll probably do an episode later on my portfolio. Every day it hits my target that it drops below, I put in a little more money to work. So yeah, in today's episode, I'm going to talk about what are some of the stocks I'm looking at. I'm also going to talk about what else I'm looking at. There's some earnings coming up that I'm kind of excited to take a look at. And yeah, just the few companies. And if you guys have any other companies that I might not be watching, feel free to post in the comments. I definitely like hearing other people's suggestions, just to see maybe I forgot, I overlooked that company. So the first thing I want to talk about earnings next week. So we are coming to the end of earnings right now. The only two, so it's pretty slow for earnings seasons, and that's why most of my videos are usually due to earnings. I have not many cool earnings have come up, so I have to think about different videos to do. So if you guys have any suggestions of what you guys want to see, feel free to also post in the comments. But on Tuesday and Wednesday of this coming week, there's two big companies. Tuesday is going to be Nike, and Wednesday is going to be Micron Technologies. And the reason I want to I don't know if I want to say I'm excited to take a look at these companies, but I want to, I feel like I can get a lot of information from these two companies coming up. They're both multi-billion dollar companies. They work in pretty much Nike and Micron. Both have plenty of plants in the China. So I want to be able to see. I feel like those two big companies are gonna let me know how things are going over there, and what are some things that we might experience here, right? Because we are a few months behind with this whole COVID-19 compared to China. So it might give us something of what we may expect here in the States, and how things are progressing. I know there's been a few articles lately that have said that China has picked up again, and they're telling just by the emission going on, the pollution emission going on in China has increased dramatically in the past week, saying that the factories are going back. I know FedEx also talked FedEx, I think, did earnings this past week actually. That's probably a company I should have done. FedEx did earnings, and I know they mentioned that Chinese products moving out of from FedEx is I think 80% back to normal. So we can see things are gearing back over there. So that's what I do think. I want to learn from these two companies, Nike's and Micron, and then they're also going to most likely post some form of guidance for the next quarter, which will help me kind of understand how other companies that are gonna they're gonna report guidance next earnings seasons are going to how they're going to be reacting to this whole pandemic happening. But obviously, the first things first, right? Stock market to me is last. Always make sure your family's okay. Always make sure you're okay, right? That's another reason I've been pretty off videos right now. I've just been making sure my parents are okay. With this whole shutdown things, right? Some things sometimes I have to worry. Luckily, I'm in a very good position to be able to help my parents, my wife's parents, if they ever need help. So those are some things that were going through our minds. We were discussing. Fortunately, right now everything is good. So right now I still have plenty of cash to be able to go with my current plan of every time it drops a certain amount of percent, I'm gonna go into the market with X amount of cash. And I'm happy I've deployed this rule, because with this rule, it has helped me not run out of cash, right? I felt like people are biased too much of when the bottom is, and they might overthrow all their money at once. But is that really the bottom? You never know. So I know that I don't know what I know, and I know that I don't know everything, right? I know that I could be wrong, right? That's exactly what I'm trying to say. I know that I can be wrong, and for that, what I do is back then it was every 3% I would deploy a percentage of my cash at hand and send it to work. Now that I'm still seeing a little bit heavier markets, I decreased that from 3% to 4%. So every 4% drop, I go with that more cash available again. And it's just a portion of my cash, and I understand how much cash I have. I also understand how much cash I need to have in case of this emergency. Now with this emergency, there is a guaranteed money fund that I am not gonna touch out of, just because, right? God forbid I lose my job. God forbid my parents can't work for some time. God forbid my wife's parents aren't able to work. I will be able to provide for all three of us if we need to. So that's one of the reasons I'm able to sleep at night. And I sleep at night pretty calmly, right? To me, this market is just, I only deploy money in here that I know I don't want to see for the next decade. And this is things that I'm pretty sure, when I first started investing, that would have been my mindset. My mindset would be to just throw everything in there. And it's crazy how just saving that money, and thinking, hey, I really want, and it's been like, I've been thinking, I'm like, I want to put that money to work, and I'm happy we did it. And I got to give it to my wife. She's actually, was like, hey, you never know when you need it. So she's actually a good risk, reward analysis for me. So that's pretty good. So yeah, these two companies are the ones I'm gonna be taking a look at now. My new buying things is, at 4% drop, I'm putting X amount of percentage to buy stocks, and I still have my bi-weekly paycheck that goes into stocks automatically that I haven't changed still. But I'm just saying, I just want to let you guys know, if you guys are following me, if something happens with my parents or my family members, that there might be a time where I might just stop investing. And unfortunately, I know my money would do better work, but I'd rather have my family doing better, and not having them stressed about anything. So some of the stocks I'm looking at. So these are the type of companies I'm looking at. I'm looking at software companies that also deal with some form of cloud. Um, I'm looking for esports company, video game companies. If you guys are like me, quarantines, I've actually spent a few dollars here and there actually buying some games. So I'm pretty sure there's other people like me out there. I am one of the consumers, right? So customers. So if I'm doing this, I'm pretty sure other people are doing this. So esports are a big thing. Companies with good cash and companies with strong IP. And when I mean with strong IP, is something that, hey, they might be losing money now, for some part of their business, but because they have so many great intellectual parts in their company, and they built such a great brand, that when this is over, I know they're gonna. I feel like, I don't know, right? You never know, but I feel like they will go up strongly and they would continue to do well. So first, let's start off with the software and cloud. The software and cloud, either those two, my two favorite. Oh, and one thing I also did not mention. There's one company that I feel many people might mention here, and that's going to be working telecommunication, teleworking, right? And with teleworking, I feel like the main companies that do some form of telework have jumped too much, have jumped a lot in this market, right? In this market right now, those are the ones going up and up. But to me, they can still keep going up, right? I feel like they can still be going up, but I feel like there is a better bargain for my money in these companies, which have taken a huge hit, opposed to a company that, hey, yes, they might continue to grow and grow. But so that's just my opinion, right? And it could be different for everyone. So if you guys want to go and look at telework communications, feel free to post some, on the comments, and let me know why you think I'm wrong about this. But for me, I feel like my cash at hand will be better off in these companies that I think might right now have given me a bargain price. So first, software and cloud. Two of my favorite companies here. One that I've been in pretty much, if you guys have been looking at my portfolio, is Microsoft. So Microsoft, I'm a huge fan of Microsoft. Everything they do, from their clouding, Azure, to all their Office, so, right? So even though this company has actually taken a big hit, they do a lot with PC, Xbox gaming. They do a lot of software stuff too, right? Office 365 is something that almost every computer works. And if you're working from home, the amount of licenses that are going to be increasing. If you don't have that already, is going to be good. Skype, the company I work for, we use Skype, and I know a lot of other companies use Skype for communication, meeting planning, and stuff like that. So Skype, Outlook, and other Microsoft items. So I do think a lot of their products are going to be used. Next to them, they also have a lot of clouding platforms, which I feel are going to show their strength here. And Microsoft has taken a big hit. I thought it was below 140 now. And in my previous video, obviously earnings are going to take a hit, but I was gladly to pay. I remember doing my Microsoft earnings video. I was gladly to pay $140, 45 I think was what I deemed. And yes, I understand earnings are going to take a hit during this whole thing, but I still feel comfortable with Microsoft. The next we have Google, also with Microsoft, right? Another thing they have, even though it's a small portion for them, other Windows. A lot more people are going to be buying computers right now to be teleworking from home. Xbox Live platform, more people are going to be playing games. Maybe they might have an increase in their Xbox Live, Xbox games, and the new consoles coming out, right? So it's a mixture of both software cloud and my esports criteria, which I really like a lot. Next, we have Google, right? Google is I've been eyeing Google for such a long time. Google is one that keeps escaping me, where it keeps dropping, and usually I was actually in the previous. The reason I wasn't going into Google is because I was previously in Robinhood, and Robinhood didn't allow sharehold what's it called, fraction shares. So a Google stock is over $1,200, and at the moment I didn't want to deploy all that money on just one share. So now that I've actually moved to Fidelity, I like to diversify. So right, I could be wrong. So I started doing fractional shares, and I entered Google at now that the drop. Right, Google has the cloud platform, websites. Everybody's using obviously everybody uses Google for everything. They work on a lot of different things. That the clouding platform. They're also working on the gaming cloud, Stadia, YouTube as a whole. Right, how many people of you guys are working from home watching YouTube? YouTube has increased. We can see in Europe, right? In Europe, I forget what parts of the country in Europe, but both Netflix and YouTube have been requested to slow down their streams or their quality to be able to increase the huge bandwidth of people that are now at home using the computers, because everybody's either on Netflix or Google or YouTube watching videos. So these two companies are in the software cloud, which I'm pretty good that I keep looking, I keep entering into positions. And if you guys have seen my previous videos, these are the ones I have bought a decent amount of. Next, we talk about the esports, right? If you guys know my channel, Jose Najarro, stocks and esports, I'm very, very bullish on esports company. And right now, EA Games, Activision, two major big gaming companies here in the United States. EA Games, right? We have games, all the games, some Star Wars games. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, if you can't tell, right? It's the Force Stock Exchange right there, if you see in my image on the YouTube. So EA Games, it also has games like Sims that a lot of people like to play. My wife actually enjoys that game, and I can see a lot of people pour tons and tons of money on the Sims platform. Activision, Call of Duty just came out, Call of Duty Warzone. A huge fan of they've entered this, and I think they already have over 52 million downloads or something like that. It's some ridiculous amount of downloads on Call of Duty Warzone. Hearthstone just released a new platform. I purchased the new Call of Duty as well, not outside of Warzone, the previous Call of Duty, while I'm here home, right? So it gives me something to do, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are like me that are bored right now, and are tired of just reading the news and watching the news, and they want to do something else. So either esports games like this or some form of streaming platform. So next we have Tencent. So Tencent is a Chinese company, right? They are diversified a lot in a lot of different. They have a lot of companies. They hold positions in different companies, and they hold a lot of positions in different gaming companies. So that's one reason. Tencent. Huya, if you guys have been watching my videos, Huya is one of my favorite streaming videos. They do streaming, live streaming. So if you guys know Amazon, they have Twitch. which you live stream your games. Huya is the Twitch for Chinese, and they have plenty of platforms for big esports titles where they own the rights to only play those. I know they League of Legends, which is pretty good in the eastern side of the world. So that's Huya is one I'm looking at, and I've actually just did a video on Huya, so that's I think my most recent video. Next we have NetEase. That is also another gaming gaming company that these have all taken a hit, right? So this is why I'm taking a look at these companies. I am entering in these companies. NetEase has it's another Chinese company, but if you guys don't know, they have worked with Activision before. One of the World of Warcraft expansions was made with NetEase. And then we have right now, if you guys again don't know, Activision is going with a lot of mobile games. They're gonna release Diablo Immortal for mobile, and NetEase is actually working with them to do that. So when you have a big company like Activision working with you, that's another good bullish for me. So again, all these companies have taken a big hit, and all of these I'm entering little by little. To be honest, the main ones here I have entered are Activision, Huya, and Tencent. NetEase a little bit less, and EA Games. I'm just taking a look. I haven't really entered into that space. I don't think so. I gotta remember. There's so many buys, right? There's so many things I'm looking at. Ones with good cash, man. This one is a little bright here on my screen. So Berkshire, right? Warren Buffett. I think he has about 120 or 140 billion dollars in cash, and if they have cash at hand, I'm pretty sure we're gonna end up seeing them buy some stuff. Berkshire and any of companies that have good cash, I do feel that right now those companies that have good cash, like Berkshire, like Microsoft, like Apple, this is the time where we might start seeing acquisitions happening. These are the companies that, yes, even if they use some money for acquisition purposes, they're still gonna have enough to withhold a bad storm. So I do think either when things start to look better, Apple, Microsoft, Berkshire are gonna start doing acquisitions of huge positions, certain stakes. Right? We have Microsoft can go buy some more artificial intelligence companies, some more small clouding companies. Same with Apple. Apple can go increase its IP in different platforms, and I see the companies with the big cash are gonna be the biggest winners after this, because they're gonna go and they're gonna buy companies for cheap to help increase their revenues, increase dramatically in the coming increase of, right, when this is all over. And again, if you guys have been watching my videos, Berkshire's was one I was buying frequently when the drops happens. I bought enough that now I want to diverse with a little bit more. But once I diverse with a little bit more, I'm gonna end up coming back to Berkshire's and some of these companies. So that's one thing, right? I always take a look at my portfolio and also make sure how diversified I am based on the companies, right? I don't want one company being over 10% of my portfolio. So once it does, I stop buying from that company and I start investing again. Once that diversification is complete, I start again looking at my companies and going from there. Next, strong IP, Disney. So yes, Disney, we have the cruise lines, we have movie theaters that are getting hit from all their movies. We're getting what's the cruise line, hotels, theme parks. So a lot of money from Disney comes from all these travel adventures, right? And right now, due to the pandemic, a lot less people are doing any of this, right? No more cruises. Probably less. Some of the parks are closed. I'm pretty sure I think all Disney parks are actually closed. So, and all the movies are also, most of the movie theaters here in New Jersey and in New York have closed down. Actually, not 100% sure how it is in other states, but I know in New Jersey, New York, they are closed down. So there are slowdown in movie theater revenue as well from their movies. I think it is actually a great time for them to have their streaming plus platform. If you guys don't know, some of the movies that they've just released, they've already gonna release into Disney Plus in the upcoming weeks. They released Frozen 2 on Disney Plus, and this Onward, I think, was the movie about the magician. I think it was Onward. Is coming into Disney Plus on the first week of April. So that's a movie that actually was just in the movie theater not even a month ago. So Disney is actually using pretty strong with their Disney Plus platform, and hopefully they're driving more people in there. So I think it's a great time. Even though right, this company is gonna take a hardship with all those stuff. It has a strong IP, right? Once you're not gonna forget Disney, right? At the end of the day, Disney is still gonna be there. So that's one of the biggest companies. Another one that I was adding very heavy at the drop. And just a random one right now. This is one that before I started this video, I was actually I was thinking, hey, there might be I actually read an article, and Yes is a company that I also have. I'm also invested in, and if you guys don't know Yes, I've done a video about that. But what they pretty much do is they kind of make like a Google search type engine inside a website for any website. So let's say you go. That's the best way I can describe. I can describe it pretty quick. So let's say you go to. I don't know why I always think of Taco Bell. Let's say you go to TacoBell.com, and if they work with Yes, they might have like a search engine, and you can put in there, be like, what's the lowest calorie count product, and it would give you a direct answer. And it's opposed to if you usually put it in a search engine, most companies, it gives you just Google links of random things, and you have to really search it yourself. With Yes, it actually, if you ask a question, is gonna give you the correct response if they're working with them. So if you put that in TacoBell.com, if you put that, it would give you the item with the least calorie count. So they do that a lot with different companies. We work with a lot of big companies, and I actually just read an article which was completely random, that they are actually working with the New Jersey State Department of Health, which I thought was pretty cool. So if you go to the New Jersey State Department of Health website, you can put like, where can I go to check my to get a testing. And normally, if you put that anywhere, even on Google, right, it gives you a whole list of different types where you can maybe try to find the answer yourself. But no, with Yes, you would put that, and it would give you the right answer for that question. You don't have to look anywhere. So I think that is the future for many different websites coming in. So I think Yes has a strong thing. I can't remember where the cache is. So this might be a company I want to take a look at again. I know I did a video. So that's it. Those are all the videos I'm taking. Those are all the stocks I'm taking a look at, and the companies I'm taking a look at during earnings. So feel free to post on the comments if you let me know what you guys think. Also, this is a new layout that I'm trying out. I don't know if you guys enjoyed it. I feel like sometimes maybe a PowerPoint presentation might be completely boring. So what I did is just small bullet points here and there. I made my PowerPoint presentation smaller. You can see it right here, right? And it's pretty much just me interacting with you guys. So let me know if this type of video was better than my previous videos. If you guys have any feedback, I definitely appreciate that. It means a lot to me if you guys could do that for me. So definitely post in the comments and let me know what you guys think. Have a good night, and see you next time.